Cinemime.
Hello everyone and welcome to Cinemime. I am Floyd Stapleton and today I will be discussing the film Anatomy of a Fall, which was released on October 13th, 2023, courtesy of Neon. It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in 2023, where it won the prestigious Palme d'Or Award. This film was directed by Justine Triet and was co-written by her alongside her partner Arthur Harari. Anatomy of a Fall is a legal drama involving a woman named Sandra, played by Sandra Hüller, suspected of murdering her husband Samuel after his mysterious fall out the third-floor window of their beautiful chalet in the Alps. Her son Daniel, played by Milo Machado-Graner, who is visually impaired, remains an important witness in the subsequent trial. I guess I should start off by saying that Anatomy of a Fall is a courtroom drama for people who hate courtroom dramas. I must admit, I'm not particularly a fan of the genre. I find films from this genre to be somewhat boring and monotonous most of the time. But in Anatomy of a Fall, the courtroom scenes are so engrossing. And to be quite honest, I feel they are the strongest scenes in the film. The way information about the relationship between Sandra and Samuel begins to morph and twist our perception of them as the narrative continues to progress is really spectacular. It keeps you on the edge of your seat and never quite lets go of the tension. And of course, the glue that really holds the film together are the spectacular performances all across the board. Sandra Hüller's performance, which has already nabbed her an incredible amount of nominations and wins, is arguably the best performance of the year, or at least in my opinion. The centerpiece of the film is a flashback between an incredibly heated argument between Sandra and Samuel that turns violent. The context is that the audio recording of this argument is played out loud in the courtroom as evidence. And in this argument, the two of them hash out issues and resentments that have been festering for a long time. And Sandra Hüller gives this monologue that is so incredible. The writing in this scene in particular is phenomenal. I mean, throughout the film, the writing is phenomenal, but especially in this scene. To quote Hari Nef, her big scene felt like hearing Irreplaceable by Beyonce for the first time. Milo Machado-Graner's performance as the son, Daniel, is also astounding, especially for such a young actor. I honestly think this is the best performance from a child actor I've ever seen. He has two big scenes in the film where he really has to bring emotion, and it's so nuanced and well performed. It's incredible. The dog in this movie, because they have a dog named Snoop, played by Messi, who won the Palme Dog Award at Cannes. Hands down, this is the best performance from a dog I've ever seen, because even he has a big scene where he really has to perform, and he really works it. And of course I can't forget Swann Arlaud as the hot lawyer, who also gives an incredible performance. Anatomy of a Fall is an interesting film because it deals with the subjective nature of truth. In the court of law, there are the facts. It is seemingly very objective. But as we see in the film, even that is clearly not true. Antoine Reinhardt plays this very bitchy prosecutor who is clearly biased against Sandra and always points out evidence that may suggest she's guilty without ever taking into account her perspective or evidence that would prove contrary to his opinion. This film really dives into the complexity of human relations, specifically romantic relationships, and the subjectivities that play out on both sides. Not just the complexity of relationships, but the complexity of events that occur in these relationships. Case in point, the recording of the heated argument that's used as evidence in the middle of the film. Everyone brings their own emotional baggage from past experiences and relationships that they carry toward their perception of the events that transpire between Sandra and Samuel, both within the film and externally, us as viewers. In a place like a courtroom that is supposed to deal with concrete facts, things aren't always as concrete as they seem. And I think this is why, spoiler alert, we never find out whether or not Sandra actually murdered her husband. We find out the outcome of the trial, but we never find out whether or not she actually did it. That's the main question the movie poses, and also the name of the film's official website, which is didshedoit.com, where you can cast your vote as to whether or not you think she did it. And I love this decision to make it ambiguous because it forces us to use our subjectivity to shape our perception of the case, which, in my opinion, is one of the film's strongest aspects. The film looks incredible. It was shot by Simone Beaufils, who also shot Jan Gonzalez's Knife Plus Heart from 2018. This film is shot in a very standard fashion, but every now and then there will be an off-kilter shot, like a quick zoom or a pan that really feels out of left field and keeps the viewer on their toes. And there's a very interesting usage of music in the film, notably a prominent usage of a steel drum rendition of the instrumental to 50 Cent's P.I.M.P. It becomes a recurring motif throughout, and I think it really lends an interesting dimension to the film. Overall, Anatomy of a Fall is an endlessly fascinating and complex investigation into the nature of truth and its gray areas. I would give this film a 4.5 out of 5. And that is my review for Anatomy of a Fall. Bye!